Last week was a pretty big week for game releases with the release of Rage 2 and Plague Tale Innocence. However, I think this week is just as good. Maybe you don't have a game quite as big as a Rage 2, but you have a lot of compelling new PlayStation 4 games dropping tomorrow, and that's what we're going over in today's video. 7 new PlayStation 4 games that are coming tomorrow, and one of these games is free, one of them is on PlayStation VR, and the other 5 your traditional PS4 game releases. So without further ado, let's kick things off, and let's kick it off with the free-to-play title in Dauntless. Now, I made an entire video about Dauntless, so if you want a more in-depth look on the game, go check that out, but it's a brand new free-to-play title from Phoenix Labs that's coming in its full form. It's been in beta for quite a while on PC, but now with the full release, expect an updated version of the game. And Dauntless, of course, has often been compared to Monster Hunter, the older Monster Hunter games such as Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, but being a free-to-play game definitely makes it a lot more accessible. Now, if you do want to invest real-world money into the game, you can definitely do that, as it is a free-to-play title that is to be expected. Dauntless itself takes place in a fantasy setting where a cataclysmic event has torn the world apart. Thus, with this event, it has released monstrous creatures into the wild known as behemoths that prey on the surviving humans that are left on the planet. Players themselves take on the role of slayers to take down these colossal behemoths, collecting loot that they use to craft and upgrade weapons and equipment as to take down larger and more powerful behemoths. To progress that way, the progression system in Dauntless actually has a ton of depth to it with character progression, weapon progression, and there's a lot of customizability in how you actually tailor your character, so that'll add to a lot of replayability as well. Phoenix Labs has also done a great job of keeping the game updated and fresh. And by the way, the studio of Phoenix Labs themselves is composed of developers from a lot of major studios, including Riot, BioWare, Blizzard, and even Capcom, which makes a lot of sense considering Monster Hunter is a Capcom property, so I found that rather interesting. Dauntless will be released tomorrow at the very least. Give it a download, try it out, and do play with a couple of friends because that's how you're going to get the best experience possible. But this is definitely one to check out, especially being a free-to-play title. Alright, next up, this is a game that I'm so excited for, making the transition to the PlayStation 4, and not a lot of people are talking about it. And initially, when you feast your eyes on Slate Aspire, maybe it doesn't look like the most compelling game on the surface, but I'm telling you guys, just play the game. If you are even remotely a fan of card games or roguelikes, this game marries those two genres in a way that I thought wouldn't be possible, and it creates such a compelling and unique experience that is unlike any other game I've ever played. And bear in mind, I have been a big fan of card games, whether it be tabletop card games or whether it be a virtual card game like Hearthstone, but Slate Aspire does something completely different. And there's so many nuances and strategy to the game that I really didn't find how interesting and unique this game was until after a couple hours of playtime. And what the game is the developers fuse card games and roguelikes together, and it's a single-player deck builder. You craft a unique deck, you encounter bizarre creatures, discover relics of immense power, and slay the Spire. And the game is always unique in the sense that the game presents itself in a different way, but always unique in the sense of also you're going to be crafting your deck as you go, and the specific choices that you make is going to vary from playthrough to playthrough, and that adds an incredible amount of replay value to the game. Don't think that you're going to understand all of Slay the Spire's intricacies in your first playthrough. Not your second, not your third, probably not your 10th. It takes quite a while, and Megacrit Games has done a great job of keeping this game updated as well. Now, I've been playing it since the early access days on PC, and now the experience that you get is so good. It does come at a pricier point than when it was in early access, $25, but I think it's absolutely worth that. And again, if you're a fan of card games, it is a single-player title, but it's done so well, and the game features 3 core characters that each have their own unique set of cards, a total of 250 plus fully implemented cards. And outside of cards, you have a lot of other elements affecting the game. You also have 150 items to be found, north of 50 unique combat encounters, north of 50 mysterious events that can help or harm you. You've got daily climbs that allow you to compare yourself with every other player in the world, and a custom mode that allows mixing and matching various crazy run modifiers. Again, a lot of replayability to the game, a game that I found myself going back to over and over again. And I think if you guys give it a chance, you're going to enjoy it a lot. Don't be put off by its presentation. Once you actually start playing the game, it's accessible in the sense that, yeah, you can start playing right away, but also there's an incredible amount of depth to the game, so I did want to ramble a little bit longer about Slay the Spire and gush about that a little bit. Alright, moving on from that, we have another very exciting release, Team Sonic Racing. For you kart racing fans out there, this is definitely one to keep an eye on, and the fact that it is being released at $39.99 instead of $59.99, I feel like makes it a much more palatable price point and a much more accessible title to get into, because a $60 kart racer, yeah, Mario Kart can get away with that, but a Sonic racing game, I don't think necessarily can get away with that, and I think that's going to help it out a lot. Team Sonic Racing touts the combination of the best elements of arcade and fast-paced competitive style racing as you face off with friends in intense multiplayer racing. Race together and work together as a team by sharing power-ups and speed boosts. Take control of your racing style, choose from 3 distinct character types, and unlock game-changing vehicle customization options to suit your racing style. Gear up and speed up. The game features online multiplayer and local co-op modes, 12 players per race, 4-player split screen, and various offline and online racing modes including Grand Prix mode, exhibition mode, time trial, and team adventure mode. Also has team racing where you can race as a team, win as a team. A lot of customization in this one as well, with a lot of performance and skin customization, wisps, 14 spectacular offensive and defensive items to help overcome rival teams and get ahead. Adventure mode, unique story experience where players are introduced to basic game features and characters, and you've got a litany of different characters available as well. 15 playable characters across the Sonic universe and 3 distinct character types of being speed, technique, and power. The Sonic Racing games have generally been pretty good. The reviews for Team Sonic Racing are out and they're a little bit mixed to positive. I believe a 73 on Metacritic, which I think is a fine score, has a decent bit of content given the price point, and Sumo Digital looks to do a pretty good job with this one as well. It's dropping tomorrow, so if you're a fan of kart racers, at this price point, I think it's going to be worth a pickup. Here's another game that has me really interested, and that is American Fugitive. American Fugitive is being done by Fallen Tree Games, and they haven't done a lot of big budget titles. However, this is their first foray into a title that I think can really resonate with a large audience, and the game itself is inspired by classic GTA. If you know a game like Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, that's where American Fugitive looks to take a lot of inspiration on, and it's a modern take on sandbox action, offering a new 3D top-down open-world single-player experience. The 2 studio founders of Fallen Tree Games have worked on some major titles such as Time Splitters, Crisis, Black, and GoldenEye 007 Reloaded. American Fugitive, you take on the role of Will Riley. No angel for sure, but not a killer, yet the cold-blooded murder of your dad is the crime they locked him up for. Fueled by grief and a burning desire for vengeance, you'll bust out of jail intent on finding the real culprit, but as you are busting out of jail, obviously that presents an issue. You are a criminal. And once outside, you'll need to blend in with the townsfolk to avoid recapture, establish contact with the criminal underworld, and stay one step ahead of the police dragnet. The game is set in the deep south of the 1980s, and American Fugitive is said to be a love letter to the classic movies and games of old. The open world looks stylish, and being a big fan of a game like Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, I love that game on the DS, love that game on the PSP. Anything that harkens back to a game like that has me ready. We don't know the price point of this. I think if it comes out at a $19.99 or even a $14.99 price point, it's an absolute winner. Anything more than that, maybe a game to wait on a sale for, but definitely one to keep on your wish list and maybe pick up down the line if it is a little bit too pricey for you. Here's a game that doesn't look to be all too pricey but looks awesome, and that is Skelly Celeste. This game is already available on PC and it's available for $4.99. And it released back in early 2018, and it was received incredibly well by the people that actually played the game. The Steam reception of 156 user reviews pegged it at 94% positive reviews. That's a really good score. And the game itself is an old school presented score attack / dash run and gun action title. You venture into the procedurally generated perdition depths of hell to purge the evil taint of the demonic netherlords and their friendly followers. Again, a very old school look, and the game modes itself include a pit arena survive-a-thon where you battle endless meanies, a gloomy dank dungeon crawl open to all beasties and bosses, a dedicated boss rush plumber, challenging penitence trials, and even a strategic collectible card game inspired by Final Fantasy VIII's Triple Triad. The game's only $4.99, it's an incredibly charming game, and I wanted to give this one a mention given the old school look might not be up everyone's alley, but given the price point, I thought it was a cool game to mention. Next up, we have a PlayStation 4 console exclusive that isn't getting a lot of attention, and yes, it's dropping tomorrow, and that is Observation. And even with the PC release of this game, it is an Epic Game Store exclusive, so a lot of PC players aren't even going to check it out, so many are seeing this as a pseudo PlayStation 4 exclusive, but nonetheless, the game itself is pretty compelling. It's a sci-fi thriller uncovering what happened to Dr. Emma Fisher and the crew of her mission through the lens of the station's artificial intelligence, Sam. So it's a space sci-fi game, and it's giving me a lot of vibes of a game like Tacoma where there is a lot of mystery. Do expect this to be a more narrative-driven game, light on the gameplay, but throughout the game you do assume the role of Sam by operating the station's control systems, cameras, and tools to assist Emma in discovering what is happening to the station, the vanished crew, and Sam himself. Again, a game that's riddled in mystery that'll unfold as you play through the game. I wouldn't expect a rather lengthy game, but expect one with a pretty interesting story, and I can always get behind a quality sci-fi story, and it looks like that's what Observation is trying to offer. And lastly, for those of you guys with PlayStation VR, I do want to give a mention to Everybody's Golf VR. That is available to pre-order for $29.99. Free demo available as well. Everybody's Golf is making the transition to VR in a golf game, and VR, that sounds like a match made in heaven. With Everybody's Golf VR, you will step on the course like never before in the most immersive Everybody's Golf experience yet. Everybody's Golf has been around for quite a while, you guys might not remember it, but the games were quite good on the PlayStation Portable, and now to see it make a transition to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR, hey, that's pretty exciting to me. The game itself has you play through 3 incredible courses with tips from your very own charismatic caddy. You can practice your putting on the green or tee off at the driving range to perfect your swing. It's a VR title. Obviously, not all of you guys have PlayStation VR, but with VR's library gaining more depth, Everybody's Golf VR looks to be another interesting title added to VR's library. And maybe it's not quite a system seller for you guys. I don't think VR has that one game that is an absolute system seller. However, there is so much variety in the library now, and I would say there's a lot of quality as well as quantity. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, I think tomorrow is a big day for new PlayStation 4 game release. I'm excited for several of these games. Dauntless is a free-to-play game, adding to the free-to-play library. Slate Aspire, given that I already played so many hours of that, I'm sold on it a lot more than you guys, but take my word for it, you guys are gonna really enjoy it if you're open to something a little bit more different, a little bit unique. You're gonna find that they're a great kart racer in Team Sonic Racing. American Fugitive looks awesome. Skelly Celeste is a $5 title. Observation looks to be pretty compelling, and Everybody's Golf VR for you VR guys out there. A lot of exciting titles tomorrow, so that's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.